Super Milk. Good afternoon or good morning or good evening, whenever you are watching this. It is time to do another fitness fragrance review on my walk this afternoon while my brother is at work. And what one are we looking at today? Well, we're looking at another milk-based Lush body spray, Super Milk, this one. Now, actually, my brother bought this a little while ago and he got it confused. Obviously, Milky Bar, Super Milk. He didn't realise, actually, they were two different fragrances because, again, very similar name. And I was a little bit critical of Milky Bar yesterday. Obviously, that was a bubble bar originally, and they've turned it into a limited edition fragrance. Didn't overly bowl me over, so I'm hoping Super Milk, which is what I wanted from that fragrance. I wanted that smell of that, lactonic type smell. I'm hoping this one may give me that today while I'm out on my walk. So if you haven't seen my fitness fragrance reviews before, essentially we're going to rate this body spray, this fragrance, on 5 categories. We're going to look at its price / value for money, its versatility, how much you can use it in different situations, obviously male, female, all those sorts of things. We'll look at its projections, how much I'm noticing it during my walk. We'll also look at its compliment factor. Do I think it's a compliment getting fragrance? And also its longevity as well. So, how long does it last? When I get near the end of my walk, can I still smell it? How strong is it compared to when I applied it just a minute ago? So what we'll do first, though, we'll go into the note breakdown. I'm sitting by my computer, so it'll be much easier to go through it. And yeah, I'll read the little description on the front as well. Okay then, so Super Milk, what is in this fragrance? So there's a few notes. Again, Lush don't give you a huge amount. You can kind of tell what's in it based on what's on the back as well, because it gives you the ingredient. But let's just read the bit of info on the front. So we all have our kryptonite. Luckily, yours comes with irresistible lemon notes and a vanilla twist. So you're getting vanilla and obviously maybe that sharp citrus. Lush seem to be going into this at the moment. I've done a review recently on Chelsea Morning, sort of a sweet caramel, and then this like lemon opening as well. And they've done this one with vanilla rather than caramel, so it's really interesting. But what else is in it? So you've got vanilla, so creamy sweetness, cozy and comforting. You've got tonka bean, warm caramel-like depth. Don't particularly notice any tonka bean in this, I must admit. Benzoid, soft resinous sweetness, slightly balsamic. Again, it's not a dark fragrance, so if you're thinking this might have a dark sort of caramel type smell, definitely don't think of it like that. These are the notes that I think you pick up a lot more. So you've got lemon, bright, zesty lift that keeps it from feeling heavy. It definitely has that more summer type vibe of it, which we'll talk about in more detail later. It's not that sweet candied lemon, I wouldn't say. I'd say it's definitely more of a sharp, zesty lemon, more what you'd associate with the actual fruit itself than a sweet, let's say, than a candied lemon. Almond, nutty, milky smoothness. Almond is definitely in the ingredients on the back. I love almond in fragrances. Blush Cinders is a brilliant one. Do I really get that from this? Maybe a little bit, certainly not as much as I would normally expect, because almond can be quite strong in fragrances. And then coconut, and coconut is a strong note in a lot of fragrances, and it's a subtle, creamy richness, and you definitely do get that coconut that's mixed with the vanilla. So the main things I'm picking up from this, if I'm looking at the note breakdown, definitely the lemon, definitely the vanilla, and the coconut. And it does give that kind of... It is a bit like a dessert. I mean, it says here, sweet, milky, lemon, vanilla dessert with warm, cozy undertones. I get a bit of a powdery vibe. Again, a slight clean washing, but I think that lemon is a little bit stronger. That takes it away from feeling like this sort of musky, powdery fragrance that we got from Milky Bath yesterday. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go get myself ready, put my sunglasses on, take this hoodie off. I can't believe I'm going to have to actually spray underneath this because I won't be wearing it. It's too hot. Sorry, Jack. That's my brother. I'm wasting more of his fragrance. Yeah, we'll take that out now, and yeah, looking forward to doing all the categories while I'm out there. And we are off. What a gorgeous day it is today. Look at this. Anyway, let's talk about Super Milk by Lush, the body spray. So price / value for money for this one. Well, it looks like online the price for this is £32 for a 200ml body spray. That's kind of on their slightly more expensive price ranges. That's more in line with the Rose Jam and Salty. So about £4 or £5 more than Sticky Dates, and about £10 more than some of their cheaper ones like Dad's Garden Lemon Tree and the Comforter. But do I think that sort of price is good value for money? Well, yes I do, because one thing I could say, this could be your spring summer scent this year. That lemon citrus in this, from initial impression of just vendors so far, is actually quite prominent. It's certainly more prominent than like the vanilla and the coconut in it. It's definitely taking the lead role at the moment. Maybe that is because it's the opening. And it's very wearable. I said you could certainly wear this throughout the whole whole year. There's nothing too daring about it. There's no notes in this that make you think, oh, it's very divisive. It very much fits into that Lush Gourmand DNA. The only thing and the only issue I potentially have with this one is mainly the name as much as anything. When I first sort of heard of this one, super milk, you almost think, oh, that's going to have that lactonic smell. And it really doesn't. I don't get any sort of milkiness in this, it just doesn't have that vibe. And I think if someone who knows Lush body sprays come to me and said, oh, have you tried that new one, super milk, what do you think? I'd probably go, it's really nice, but have you tried Elf the Throp? Have you tried Lush Sticky Date? Have you tried Cinders? Have you tried Sakura, which is more of that summer floral type scent? Dad's Garden Lemon Tree Zesty? And they go, oh no, I'd probably always go for those ones first. One, because a lot of them are a little bit cheaper than this, but I also think they're slightly better, and the name kind of suits what they are a little bit more. This one just feels like the name's a little bit far removed. So when I first smelled it, I was thinking this is going to be one of those sort of nice lactonic type scents, and it's not. And it's actually a really, really nice place. It's very easy to pull off type scent, very wearable. But I just think that name almost made me feel a little bit underwhelmed and a bit disappointed. If someone said to me, should I go and buy it, blind buy it? Yeah, of course you can. But I think if you're someone who knows Lush body sprays on the whole, I think you might feel only a little bit underwhelmed with this one, but certainly not feel ripped off. So it's absolutely fine for the price. It smells very good. It does certainly fall into Lush DNA. I just think that name's a bit misleading. So I'm going to give it a pretty good score still. Let's give it an 8 out of 10. Nothing wrong with it. Just wish it didn't sound so lactonic in its name. Super zest or super lemon, or I don't know. I'm sure someone can come up with a better word or a better title than I can. On to versatility. First thing, before I go into it, can you believe I said about taking the sunglasses, and what did I forget? My sunglasses. So you can hear the waves coming in, and there's a huge glare off the seafront at the minute, so apologies if I'm squinting a little bit. But do I think you can dress super milk up, dress it down, different ages, different occasions, different seasons, all those things? Well, I'm going to go straight into it. Look, I think it's definitely straight down the middle unisex type scent. Vanilla, coconut, benzoin, almond, lemon, all those notes are in men's and women's fragrances in equal measure. They're in other things like room sprays, reed diffusers. They're very easy, recognisable scents to pull off. So 100% in that case, it's versatile. I think it's certainly, though, a casual type fragrance. It's one that you're going to want to wear just as a calming scent. Look, Lush isn't meant to be serious. It's really not meant to be. I wouldn't wear this with a suit and tie. I don't think this would suit an older gentleman. But if you're in your early 20s to mid 40s and you just wanted something to wear, throw on after your gym session, wear something quite nice and relaxing and approachable at work, this is fine. You could even wear this to a job interview if you wanted to. It's got nothing about it that feels uncomfortable, divisive. It's absolutely fine. And in that case, I think it's great for transition seasons. I think it's definitely got that nice sharp lemon note. It's going to lend itself more to that hotter days. I really do. A sort of hot evening or warm evenings probably is where I think it'll be best. But yeah, day out with your friends, whatever you're doing, this could be your summer scent this year. I really, really like it. So easy to pull off, so easy to wear. And it's certainly not as aggressive as it could have been with that coconut note. So I'm going to give this one for versatility, because I think I was quite harsh on the first one. Let's go 9 out of 10. It's a really, really nice scent. And actually, the more I'm walking with it, the more I'm enjoying it. It feels really pleasant for outdoors. And then certainly in a climate control environment, I think people are going to say nice things about you. Okay, we're going to go on to projection next. So how much am I noticing this fragrance? How much am I noticing super milk while I'm out on my walk? Well, I have to say a lot. I've only got my t-shirt on underneath today. I've kept my zip up quite high, and the fragrance is really kicking through, but not in a way it's horrible and overpowering and obnoxious. That coconut, the way they've made sure it's not too overpowering, is great. That lemon citrus really, really cuts through. Maybe the almonds sort of toning it down, but whatever it is that's helping tone this down, maybe even the benzoin, it's really working, and it's got about the right balance. I think if someone walked by you now and you know my t-shirt was more exposed, I think they'd certainly kick it up, certainly indoors anyway. But I also think it's one of those scents, if you were probably about, an arm's width away from someone, they'd probably notice you smelling nice, and they might even give you a compliment with it. It's got more than enough projection. without being too much. I don't feel like it's going to really fill up a room in the same way. You know, it's not got that real depth about it. Again, Lush don't tend to add a huge amount of notes, and there's not a huge note breakdown for this, but it's got nice quality oils where I think that projection will certainly be quite prominent within the first 2 to 3 hours. And yeah, it's going to be really nice, likeable, and you're not going to feel uncomfortable with someone being in your scent bubble, where they will certainly pick up this scent. Certainly if they're sitting down next to you, even if they're out on a walk with you and you're feeling quite warm, or you're out for a run like I'm normally doing, this will give enough projection. And for that reason, I'm going to give it another 9 out of 10. Again, it's not beast mode. If you're someone who wants a beast mode type scent, which some of those Lush ones are, certainly Rose Jam, which is at the same price point, then maybe this isn't, you know, the one to go for. But that isn't what this scent's meant to be, and I think in the summer you don't really want it to be that. So yeah, 9 out of 10 is still a very good score. So let's go on to compliment factor. Do I think Lush Super Milk is a compliment getting fragrance? Well, I suppose we probably need to define what we actually mean, or what it means to me. What does compliment factor or compliment getting fragrance mean to me? Well, I think it's got to be something that you can wear daily. I think it's got to be something that gives enough projection and longevity, so encompassing a couple of the other rounds that I do. But it's also got to have something a little bit about it. Look, it needs to be relatively easy to pull off, not too divisive, but it's got to have something about it, a little bit of character about it, for someone to have the confidence to come up and mention, oh, you smell really nice. I think this one on the whole does. Look, it goes into different facets. You've got nutty facets, you've got that fresh facets, and you do have that bit of sweet powderiness from the vanilla and the coconut, which we've touched upon. Look, you can certainly wear it pretty much in all those situations. The longevity on it so far, from what I'm noticing, which we'll obviously talk about next, seems pretty good to me. And I think it's one of those scents where I think I would most likely use it, that I don't think it's one I want to wear for the gym, because I think it is a little bit too sweet. And I don't think it's one that I'd want to wear as a statement type fragrance. You know, I think a Dior Sauvage, which might have that fresh spiciness and added, because this doesn't have any spice, they might have that little bit more statement quality, which you can dress up. But in terms of just an everyday wear, I think this would be great if you've just started a new job essentially, and you wanted to kind of leave that good impression that, you know, you dress well, you turn up on time, and you always smell really nice. I think people will get that really nice first impression of you. This feels like a really good first impression set, certainly for that daily wear. And yeah, I think it's got enough about it to be a signature scent, certainly, you know, through these warmer times, or, you know, transition seasons as well. So it's pretty good for confidence. I think I'm going to give it another 9 out of 10. Do I think it's as good as Blue Fragrances? No, because I think it lacks that little bit more depth that you, again, I think you might want to wear with a suit and tie. But other than that, those more casual, nice, everyday sort of compliments that you might get, it's going to tick those boxes. And I think 9 out of 10 is a fair reflection of that. Do you know, I'm not going to lie, I am absolutely sweating under this, but I don't want to take my coat off now because I feel like there'll be sweat marks, which is horrible to say, too much info, but I feel like there will be. So far then, so how much can I smell the fragrance? I've only got about 20 minutes left on my walk. It's really strong, and I do think that is also lends to the fact I am absolutely baking. It's really kicking off my shirt, but I think it is going to be good. I think the sort of sweeter notes in this, and also that almond, I think does give some good longevity. Lost Cherry, which has got that nice cherry liqueur almond vibe, that seems to be good performance. Cinders isn't a bad one from Lush as well, that has almond in, and that seems to last pretty well. And I think that is certainly helping make this fragrance last a bit longer, alongside the benzoin, which I think just smooths that fragrance out. I think it's going to get you through a day, certainly in the springtime, maybe on a really hot summer's day, maybe it would wear off because it hasn't got a lot of depth and complexity about it. Maybe if it had something like a bit of caramel in it, or, you know, even something a bit darker like a vetiver, maybe it would last a bit longer. But other than that, it's really good. It's really good longevity. Again, I think it's going to get you 7-8 hours minimum, and it's going to be about 50% strong halfway through, say, a work shift. So yeah, I think it's going to last more than well enough. And I'm going to give it, and it's really boring, but I'm going to give it another 9. Lush fragrances on the whole, they always do seem to have good longevity and protection, particularly in those initial stages. And I think this is just another one that ticks that box. I think the atomizer certainly lends itself to that, because they do spray a huge mist. But either way, you're going to get noticed with it. I'm absolutely adamant through the lifespan of this bottle, someone will notice the fragrance even after a few hours of wearing it. So there we are, that is it for today. So what was the total score that Lush Super Milk got based on the 5 rounds we did? Done very well, and maybe the weather's playing a part today because it is absolutely gorgeous, but I've given it 44 out of 50. But I do reiterate everything I said earlier. Do I think this is one of their, say, top 5 body sprays? Not for me. You know, I prefer like a Lush Karma, I prefer Yog Nog, I prefer Sticky Dates. But if we're talking more about those sort of fresher ones that they have in their body spray collection, do I think it's better than Daz Garden Lemon Tree? Yes, I do. Do I think it's better than Avocado Co-Wash, which has a similar type of citrus in it, similar lemon, a little bit more candied? Yes, I do. Do I think it's better than Big? Yes, I do. I probably wouldn't have said this at the start, but I'm almost enjoying it as well as much as Sakura, which is a more orange floral type scent. So overall, I think it definitely stands its own ground in its own sort of category or genre of fragrance. And look, for £32, that was the lowest round I gave it. That's still not bad, is it? It's just I have such high expectation because I know how good their body sprays are. And I did say it was a little bit forgettable. And look, citrus scents, they're much harder to pull off than, say, those ones that are a bit sweeter and have a bit more depth and complexity about them. But this is great. If Lush hadn't released many fragrances before and this was in it, I'd be happy to buy this. And I'm sure one day I will add this to my collection. Definitely, if it's on sale, it would be added to the collection as well. And it's definitely one to look at this year. If you want something for the summer, you know, that you can certainly wear as the weather's now starting to warm up, hopefully, then I think this is a very good one to start with. And I think you'll be very happy with it. I really do. It's a nice scent. And yeah, it just puts you in a good mood, especially on a day like today. It gives you that extra smile, that extra 5% to your smile. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this one. Definitely worth checking it out. And yeah, if you have tried it, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it. But thanks very much for watching today. I'll catch you later.